now entering Crazy Joe's Galaxy. Enjoy the wild ride. You are now entering the galaxy.
I believe this is going to be a brutal, awesome fight. This is going to be amazing. We're going to get to see Chris Weidman, the All-American Chris Weidman, versus Yoel, the Soldier of God, Romero. This is going to be an intense fight, as Weidman is ranked number 2, a former middleweight champion, versus the number 4 contender Yoel Romero at UFC 205. UFC's coming to Madison Square Garden, UFC New York, New York, and Chris Weidman, the All-American, was a huge part of why it came there. He kept on doing the work, putting in the work, talking to people, getting things going, and putting in work to get the UFC in New York, and it's finally happening, and it is going to be a huge fight when these two fight, the American versus the Cuban. It is going to be crazy when these two go to war inside of the octagon in combat sports and MMA. So we're going to get to the prediction here in just a moment. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you enjoy the video or you hate it and what you think of the new style and format and whatnot have you with the predictions, with me doing the prediction first and then getting into the stats and preview and whatnot of the fight and so forth. So let's get to it. The prediction is going to be a knockout TKO victory in the 3rd round by the All-American Chris Weidman in Madison Square Garden, New York, New York, baby. It's going to be an awesome fight. Now, a lot of people think that if it's going to be a finish, it'll be Yoel to finish Weidman. A lot of people think that Weidman will get a decision victory. Right now, it shows 70% of people for UFC Pick'em going with Weidman, 30% going with Yoel. But I believe that we're going to see the second finish of Yoel's career, of him being finished and losing by a finish and getting a second loss by Chris Weidman. You know what I mean? As Weidman has some devastating strikes. He does have the takedown ability as well, so does Yoel, but I believe that Weidman is going to end up either up against the cage, get a TKO victory on Yoel in the 3rd round, or he's going to end up knocking him out with a head kick, or hit him in the liver with a kick to the body, and then hit him with a combination of strikes, knocking him out cold. And it'll be a highlight reel finish by Chris Weidman. Now we'll get into some stats real quick, and then whatnot. So Weidman, he has got 13 victories, 6 by KO, TKO, 3 submissions, and 4 decisions. He's lost 1 time by KO, TKO. And that was when he lost the championship to the now former champion, Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold beat him in the 4th round by TKO at UFC 194. Before that, he was undefeated, going 13 victories in a row, just steamrolling over everybody. You know what I mean? He beat Anderson Silva twice. He beat Machida. He beat Victor. It looked like he was going to be Rockhold, and then he made a huge mistake in the fight. It was a really interesting fight. I watched it a couple of times, and it's just like really weird how that whole 4th round went down. It was very interesting. He does have one over the submission backpack man known as Demian Maia by unanimous decision, which is pretty wild that he beat him. And it's very, when you think about it, with how devastating Maia is. But Maia is down in the welterweight division now, so that is very interesting. And he's got a win over Tom Lawler, who is now up in the light heavyweight division. So it's a very interesting stuff, and he has a win over Uriah Hall from back in the day too. So the submissions he has is Kimura, guillotine, and a barbar choke. So, but he's got a lot of wins by KO, TKO, and I believe he is going to have the power to take out Yoel, Soldier of Gold, Romero. Romero has got 9 wins by KO, TKO, no submission victories, 2 wins by decision, and he lost once by KO TKO, which is interesting when you look at it. It's Rafael Cavalcante is the man who beat him. I would suggest that, watching that fight, and watching how did Rafael Cavalcante beat Yoel by KO in the second round, because no one else has been able to do that. Even though Tim Kennedy should have picked up the victory over Yoel, but Yoel did some underhanded ways of getting re-energized in the third, in between the second and third round there, to be able to make a comeback and beat Tim Kennedy there. But he did beat Machida and Jacare Souza, which Jacare won that fight. Like, I think that was bullshit. Jacare should have won that fight. Like, I disagree with that decision. I didn't like that decision at all. I didn't see how he won 2 rounds on any card. I didn't understand that. But someday Jacare Souza will get his revenge against Yoel Romero, I believe, and pick up that victory back. And beat him by submission. So, anyways, if Yoel's gonna do it, it's gonna be KO, TKO, but he's not going to. I believe Chris Weidman is going to beat him and beat him hard. I believe he's actually going to beat him in the first round and not the third round, but my prediction is by the third round that he's going to win. A UFC pick'em, I'm going with the third round. But I believe, I think he's actually going to knock him out in the first round. I don't think the fight's going to go past 3 minutes, but I'm going for a third round with my pick, just because I know Yoel's got a hell of a chin. He's a warrior. He's really tough, and Weidman is too. But I think we're going to see a shocking knockout victory in the first round by Weidman. But my prediction is going with third round, like I said, and I showed you guys earlier. So let me know down in the comment section your thoughts and opinions down below. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me, and let me know if you're going with Yoel and how you're going with Yoel to win by KO, TKO, submission, decision, what round. If you're going with Weidman, the same thing. What do you think he's going to win by KO, TKO, submission, or decision? And, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and be amazing. And also hit the like button if you're going with my pick, with Chris Weidman winning the fight. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Cannot wait for them to be in Madison Square Garden, New York, UFC 205, baby. It's going to be amazing.